Early hit. They're coming home. Riley smothered it through a one-hop strike to Travis, who caught it and applied the tag.
That one's hit sharply, one-hop grab by Freddie Freeman, barehanded by Riley. What a play. Another breaking ball on the ground to shortstop. Swanson to Camargo, back to Freeman for the double play. Wow.
Welcome back, everyone. Game 2 from Boston on the way. Johan Camargo putting in that work with Ron Washington, and Camargo and company around the infield have really been impressive so far this season, making the routine plays, the great plays, and Birdie, they're on quite an impressive streak right now.
They got a streak, and we're so confident. We're not going to jinx that streak. We're going to talk about it. How about the defense up the middle? Simply incredible. Only team in MLB with no errors at shortstop and second base. Dansby, you see the DRS, very nice, and 10 total errors by infielders. Incredible. I'm going to say this. They also get to balls that other teams don't necessarily do. And sometimes when you see low errors, it's because the team doesn't have range. That's not the case with these guys. They play hard, and they're all over the place.
And when you ask them about that and why they're having the success, any guy in that clubhouse, the first one they point to is Ron Washington.
I mean, these guys every day are, they're very consistent in their work ethic. And Wash is out there long before they get there waiting on them. And if they don't show up, he lets them know about it.
The biggest thing is hand work and footwork and doing his drills. It just, it becomes second nature. That way, when I go out into the field, I don't have to worry about anything. I've already taken over 100 ground balls every day before I go on the field with his work, and it's helped.
Austin Riley has locked down that third base position. It's really fun to watch him, not just at the plate, but making tough plays look easy. We forget he also plays left field. He may have to go to first base, but he looks fantastic at third base. That's a big deal.
Absolutely. And another aspect of this, when you think about consistent defense, is how aggressive pitchers can be, and especially the young hurlers on this staff. And Tyler Flowers spoke about that.
A lot of times the fear early on is guys hitting the ball. With that said, we have one of the better, if not best, defenses in the league. Contact's not a bad thing. You don't have to punch out 15 guys day in, day out. Like, we want you to punch out 5 guys. We want you to get early contact. We want you to get deeper in the ball games. And that's something that's definitely an emphasis at this point. And again, our defense is very good, so let's trust that.
Not just the young pitchers, but the old guys as well.
They don't mind
Hey,
it.
you can give up that ground ball knowing you have a great defense behind you.
Without a doubt, and Ian Anderson will hope to see some of that stellar D tonight as he takes the mound at Fenway. Just moments away, we have got lineups. First pitch on the way, a big Game 2 between the Braves and Red Sox.
And by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be today.
Ian Anderson looking to follow up his major league debut in Boston tonight. We're minutes away from first pitch, but no Ronald Acuna Jr. in the lineup for the second night in a row. He left Sunday night's game with hamstring tightness. But before you get too worried, we want to show you some video of Acuna this afternoon. This might brighten your face and day just a little bit to see him and all the activities he had going on this afternoon. Snitker did say the training staff put him through some extensive running drills. Can see some of those there, but then Ronnie even throw in some BP. So you got to imagine he's in good spirits, right? And guys, I know the team is taking it in a cautious approach with this. So with the day off Thursday, likely we don't see Ronald in the lineup until maybe Friday.
Well, Kelly, maybe he's a starter that we are going to throw him in the rotation.
Why not?
If you can throw off a mound, your hamstring ought to be feeling pretty good. As the Braves Toyota starting lineup shapes up this way for Brian Snitker. It's a lineup that's really roaring hot right now. Scoring 6 runs last night, you got red hot Dansby Swanson, Freddie Freeman, a 14-game hitting streak. Ozuna, the team leader in RBIs, third. Nick Markakis, 7 for 18 at the plate on the road trip. Travis d'Arnaud gets the start behind the plate. Adam Duvall hit a home run. Riley, Camargo, Inciarte right now, Jeff. This is a fearsome lineup that a former Brave, Ryan Weber, is going to have to deal with. Weber, a former 22nd round pick by the Braves in 2009, is now starting for the injury-riddled Boston Red Sox.
Walks have been a huge killer for him this year. You see 11 walks to 11 strikeouts. 3 starts for the Red Sox this year. 9.9 ERA in 10 innings, 5 homers. Got back to the bullpen, 14 innings with a 3-2-1 and 1 homer. So hoping those results go back over today.
So the 4 keys for the Braves to win this game and by consequence, Jeff, win the series outright.
Yeah, from an offensive standpoint, just keep Austin hot. He's going, get some guys on right now. He's been in a nice groove, set him up, give him RBI opportunities. And Ian Anderson, rinse and repeat. He was great 5 days ago, 6 days ago. You don't have to do anything more. Go out there, throw your stuff, follow your catcher's game plan, and it'll be a good start for him.
I noticed you didn't say lather, rinse, and repeat. That's going to be tough to do. It's a very, very comfortable 69-degree night at Fenway Park for Game 2. Hardly a cloud in the sky up in Boston, so certainly refreshing weather for the Braves and Red Sox in the Back Bay of Boston tonight. Atlanta starts play with a 3-game lead, by the way, in the National League's Eastern Division. The Phillies have caught the Marlins. Phillies have gotten hot. So Philadelphia and Miami both at 500, 3 games behind Atlanta and in second place. Meanwhile, for the Red Sox, it's been a rough go for them. Boston 12-23 on the year. The Red Sox way off the pace, being set currently by the Tampa Bay Rays. So Brian Snitker, through all of this, Jeff, through all the lineup machinations with all the pitching injuries, has his team with 20 wins in the first 34 games and a 3-game lead. Pretty amazing work.
Yeah, and you saw the report from Kelly with Ronald. I think that's a lot of the reason, Chip, that you're able to rest him today. Probably, maybe, we think maybe at this point you do it tomorrow if you got the off day. But with them playing the way they've played, being at 2014, you have those options.
So Weber's first pitch of the night is on the way, and Dansby fouls it back, and we are underway at Fenway Park. Dansby Swanson, 5 homers, 20 RBIs, has scored 2 runs in each of the last 2 games for Atlanta. And a 1-for-4 night in the series opener yesterday. Ryan Weber, good kid. Remember, he was part of the Braves bullpen and starting staff in the midst of the Atlanta rebuild back in 2015 and 2016. Ryan went 1-4 in 7 starts, had an ERA over 5 in that stretch with Atlanta. On the ground, Devers at third, and a high throw to first takes care of Dansby. And that's how our game starts tonight. 1 up, 1 down for Freddie Freeman.
And that's what Ryan has to do to be successful. He's not a big strikeout guy, only 11 strikeouts and 24 innings plus. He's going to have to get ground balls, throw to contact, and that's been a little bit of an issue. 11 walks for him this year.
Yeah, and when he's walking people, he's not getting many swings and misses.
No, like I said, 3 starts to start the year, over 9 ERA. Went to the bullpen for 14 innings, been a lot better, so they're hoping it carries over.
And now he runs into Freddie Freeman, riding that hot 14-game hitting streak that we've talked about. 14 games in a row with a hit is an amazing accomplishment. He's not even halfway yet to his longest career streak, which was 30 games. For the Braves first baseman, who's batting .314, 9th best average in National League play.
Good change up there. I said it last night and I'll say it again too. For Freddie, it's tough to get a hitting streak like that when you walk as much as he does. Many games, 2 walks, and he only gets to swing it twice.
5 homers, 21 RBIs, 25 walks for Freddie. And more walks than strikeouts. As Joe West saw that one low, and it was. Joe's got the plate tonight. There's the shift on for Freeman. He was ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. He's got a first inning run last night. They'd love another one here for Ian Anderson, the pitch. And that shaved off the corner. Jeff, with so much high velocity in the game, you see a guy like Ryan Weber pitching, he really is a changeup for an offense to face.
Yeah, look, like I said, he's not going up there for the strikeout. If he gets one in a situation like this, great.
And that one hit Freddie on the front foot, so Weber puts Freeman aboard with 1 out.
Yeah, just to give you something, he's only struck out 26% of the hitters. He's gotten 2 strikes on this year, second lowest in baseball.
Right on the outside of the right foot for Freddie. He'll be all right. And Marcell Ozuna's coming up. Team leader in RBIs with 23. Marcell with 8 homers and a .282 average. He had a base hit last night too.
Now, another reason Freddie does have that 14-game hit streak. Marcell doing some damage too.
Swing and a high fly ball headed for the green monster. It is gone. A home run. Ozuna on the first pitch gives Atlanta a 2-0 lead.
Chip, you talk about quick hands. This wasn't even a strike. This was a ball 6 inches in off the plate. Look at that on the white line. A no doubter.
The only thing I was worried about was that ball going to stick in the pine tar that's loaded on the bat. So number 9 for Ozuna, 25 RBIs, and the Braves have struck first in the first against Ryan Weber. And now Markakis moves his feet. 1 ball, no strikes. Ozuna now 3 for 3 against Weber head to head. Nothing gives a young starter more confidence than early runs to play with, and Anderson has 2 so far.
Well, it just goes to show you how quick this game can change. Got Dansby to ground out, got Freddie 1-2, and within 2 pitches you end up hitting him and then giving up a 2-run homer.
So Nick Markakis with a 3-hit night last night. And Joe West has a generous outside corner tonight. 2 balls and a strike. We'll get Hunter Wendelstedt behind the plate tomorrow night. Vic Carapazza, Stu Surewater, the rest of Joe West's umpiring crew from Fenway Park. And Weber is throwing a ton of breaking balls.
And that's the pitch he's having trouble controlling right now. At curveball, he's really coming across his body. Having a tough time throwing it for a strike.
On the ground towards short. Nice play, Bogarts from the outfield grass. High throw, and he got him by a step. Well, that was pretty. Xander Bogaerts, a premium defender, took away a hit from Markakis.
That was nice. See full extension. He's able to get up, set his feet, and make a nice throw.
So 2 outs after the Ozuna homer. Here's Travis d'Arnaud, Braves catcher, at 308. D'Arnaud's 2 RBIs away from 20. Gets that tonight, Atlanta would have 5 players in their lineup with 20 or better RBIs.
And that's a good problem when you have guys from all over the lineup contributing.
Last time out for Weber was a relief outing. 2 2/3 innings against Toronto through 47 pitches, got 2 swinging strikes. A line drive into center, a base hit. That's the 2nd hit of the inning, and d'Arnaud's aboard in front of sizzling hot Austin Riley.
Good job laying off the off speed. Gets him a fastball in the outer portion of the plate and drives it right back up the middle. That's why you see Weber continuously go to that curveball. Chip, he's got to find a way to throw that first strike if he's going to have any chance against this offense tonight. So he's going to keep throwing it until he can find a release point that he likes.
So Austin Riley with a 3-run triple last night swings the first pitch and hammers that toward deep center. That ball is high off the wall. Bradley plays the carom. d'Arnaud around third is going to slam on the brakes and scramble back. Riley almost hit it out to straightaway center. He'll stand at second with a 2-out double. Man, was that ball tattooed.
Look, outer part of the plate, does exactly what you're supposed to do. Drops a bat head. Just 5 feet or so. And look, he was even a little out front on that. Shows you how strong he is. We heard Brian Snitker the other day say, Chip, last year, if we remember, he carried us for a while when he got hot, and he's doing the same thing here.
And that's what hitters have to be driven crazy about in Fenway Park. He hit that ball 400 feet, and it's a double, not a homer. Just about any place else, Braves would have a 4-0 lead. But a chance to add here with Adam Duvall. Braves have 2 runs, 3 hits in the inning. And that's grounded foul. It's a strike. Man, oh man, Riley just continues his sizzling work. I'm told that Riley's double would have been a home run in 27 other ballparks, but not Boston's Fenway.
415 feet.
0-1. Way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Guess in Houston, maybe.
Straightaway center in Houston.
Even though the hill's not there, I think it's still pretty deep.
Detroit, maybe.
Yeah, Detroit's 420 to center, so you're probably
That's
right.
2 of them, so we need to figure out 1 more.
Philly? No, I'm just kidding.
Wrigley?
That thing's in the Braves bullpen in Philly.
No kid. 1-1 pitch. What's it to straightaway center at Yankee Stadium?
That's gone. I think it's 408.
It's decent there.
Yeah. I don't know what they, Arizona's 420 has got the high wall, but the way the ball carries out there, that might have been 440.
Yeah, I think it might be Arizona. That's one of the deeper center fields. So great result, but bad luck for Riley. As Weber ponders a 2-ball, 1 strike count for Adam Duvall. Adam with a game-tying homer here last night. It too went over the Green Monster. One of the 6 runs the Braves scored last night. And Weber missed away again. 3-1 the count. The Red Sox, as we mentioned last night, are decimated in their rotation. I mean, they have had all kinds of pitching problems with Chris Sale out, Nathan Eovaldi, Rodriguez is out. So they've really had to patch it together for Ron Renicky. They've used an opener pretty much 3 times in rotation all year long. Full count.
So I found out it was Coors Field and Comerica are the other 2 parks besides Fenway.
And we don't think of Coors because,
well, they don't put elevation into Statcast,
right,
which obviously at Coors that's about 460.
.23 pitches for Weber in the opening inning. Let's see if Duvall can time a 3-2 pitch. And that one is skied to straightaway center. Jackie Bradley Jr. is going to camp out. And the Braves settle for a 2-run homer from Marcell Ozuna to get the night started. Braves 2, Boston coming up, and so is Ian Anderson to face the team he loved watching as a kid in his 2nd big league start. Braves a 2-0 lead after a half inning of play. And now the Boston Red Sox at 12-23 on the year will go to work. Ron Renicky is their manager, and his starting 9 is presented by Toyota. Some new names in the lower third of that order, Munoz and Lynn. We'll talk about that as they come up against Ian Anderson, who has an unbelievable act of his own to follow in his 2nd big league start.
Yeah, last Wednesday at Truist Park, just dazzled. Gave up 1 hit, opposite field homer to Voit. 2 pitches we saw the most was the fastball, and really had that changeup working. Kept Aaron Hicks, Gardner off balance. With some of these lefties tonight, Verdugo, Devers, Bradley Jr., you got to see that changeup. Hopefully, he just throws the same game.
And what a dream come true for Ian and his entire family. Growing up in New York, in Rexford, New York, huge Red Sox fans. He's about to throw his first pitch as a big leaguer on the fabled mound in Fenway Park. Blisters a 96-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. Message sent to Alex Verdugo, who had a huge game last night with 3 doubles.
Off Max Fried.
And he's He's late there, and just like that, is behind 0-2. Ian Anderson, the 3rd overall pick in the 2016 draft by the Braves. The number 1 pick that year was Mickey Moniak, who went to the Phillies. Nick Senzel went 2nd to Cincinnati, and Anderson was there for the taking, and the Braves are glad they got him. And skips up there. Darno took a little punishment. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Verdugo 9th in the American League with that .306 average. And another base hit. So he's got 4 hits in the series already. And no-hit drama for Ian Anderson. That's by the boards with the very first batter. Alex Verdugo has the first Boston hit.
Yeah, fastball in. Verdugo didn't hit it great. Got it in on him a little bit, but enough to line it out to Adam Duvall.
As you said last night, Boston fans are going to love Alex Verdugo.
He's got a great approach. You saw the 3 doubles to left field last night. Now pulling a ball, can go all fields.
Here's Vasquez, the Boston catcher. He went 1 for 3 last night. Christian with 4 homers and 12 RBIs. Rafael Devers waits on deck. Braves 2, Boston nothing. A Marcell Ozuna first inning homer. That's hit high in the air to right and playable for Adam Duvall. No advance by Verdugo. Anderson has out number 1.
Yeah, good approach there, staying low, away. I think versus these right-handed hitters tonight, force them to go to right field. It's a huge park out there. It takes a big bolt to get it out.
And now Rafael Devers is up. Devers with 20 RBIs and a .248 average, 2 hits and an RBI last night. We talked about it last night. Don't think too much about the Boston record this year. This is a club that's got some really dynamic offensive pieces. They've just had to outscore their own pitching staff for the first half of this season.
Well, we haven't seen J.D. Martinez these 2 games either.
He was hit on the hand the day before the Braves opened their series with the Red Sox, and Martinez still not able to go. 1-0 count. To an E he goes, and it's fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You throw Martinez in there, you got a really good first 5-6 hitters. Look, the bottom part of the lineups to me, Chip, where they're going to have to see keeping that ball down, got him out in front. They're going to have to find some guys there, and then as you said, the pitching. I mean, they've just been crushed. You're missing that kind of firepower.
1 ball, 1 strike. Verdugo at first, 1 out. Devers mad he missed that.
Yeah, but that was a good pitch. 96. Look at this inner part.
Travis didn't have to move his glove.
No, and now look, I think you can come right back in there, or he can throw that changeup. You saw him, like we said last week, strike out Hicks, Gardner.
If I miss that one, I'm just going to quit.
I think Hunter Wendelstedt just told him, you see that, if I miss that tag, I'm just going to quit.
1 ball, 2 strikes. For Devers, they're going inside again. And he got it there, and it's popped up. Devers upset. Straightaway left, and Markakis shy of the monster and the warning track. That's the 2nd out.
Well, he can be upset, but even that 1-1 pitch, Chip, he beat him to the spot in, and same thing there. He beat him to the spot, so, you know, those are fastballs that are put exactly where you want them, and he got jammed. He was late.
Well, that's what's been so refreshing about Ian. You mentioned how good his changeup is. But his fastball command was excellent against the Yankees. And so far tonight, it's also been very good. Hope that continues with Xander Bogaerts coming up. 23 RBIs for the Boston shortstop and hitting a cool 300.
First curveball of the night.
Bogaerts with a little housekeeping in the right-hand batter's box. Now he's set to go. 1 ball, no strikes. And after one bounced up there, he came right back to it, threw it in a perfect spot. Got him to chase.
Change up. Went curveball, curveball. You can see Bogaerts thought it was a fastball right out of his hand. How out in front he was. Looked just like last time. I like it. Whatever Travis is putting down, he's throwing right now. Trusting their approach, their plan. When you have 3+ pitches, you're able to do that.
See if he doubles up with the changeup here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He did, and a swing and a miss. His first strikeout comes in Fenway Park. Bogaerts swung and missed, and it's 2-0 Atlanta.
Back here at Truist Park, Bertie and I took a little field trip to try and find out where that Austin Riley home run ball would have landed here. And Bertie, you figure it out yet?
Kelly, I did. I walked it off. Austin Riley, 415 feet, 109. I did my math. Would have landed right here.
Boom.
You got cheated, buddy. Sorry.
Bertie, jump in.
It is kind of muggy
It is
here
so
in Atlanta.
humid.
I'm not going to lie.
I figured you'd do a cannonball.
You've seen my cannonball before.
When Paul came from behind that tree, I couldn't help but think of the Jack's Link's beef jerky Sasquatch.
I'm still waiting to see Paul jump in.
Nah,
I mean, if you're going that far.
Fritchie, I'm already wet from the ankles up right here.
I'm
You know, the
just glad
stuff
he's
we
still standing, you
sacrifice
guys.
for this show.
We go to all links. All links.
Beautiful Chattahoochee Falls as Ender Inciarte is coming up with bases empty and 1 out.
That was great. The Sasquatch Birdie coming out behind the trees.
So Weber gets the first out in the second inning. Ender 1 for 10 on the road trip. They hit a home run.
I will tell you this, when I told Bertie to jump, I thought we had a 50-50 shot.
Yep. You never know. I'm just worried that the fitness tracker and the sports watch might not be waterproof.
That's maybe why he didn't do it.
Could be. Could be. Ender, then Dansby Swanson for Atlanta.
You know, Ender had that weak period where Ronald was out, where he got 3-hit game, was going up the middle the other way some, and it just seems like it's back to trying to pull. And for him, that's just not a very, successful approach when he's going up the middle.
Little dribbler back to the mound, and that's the other problem that Ender's had. Jeff, when he makes contact, it's not exactly jumping off the bat for him right now. So a comebacker takes care of Ender for the second out. And back to the top we go, and Dansby Swanson, who bounced out to Devers at third base. Three hits in the last 3 games for Dansby. Started play batting .301 tonight.
That's been Weber's best pitch by far tonight, that changeup. The fastball, Ozuna hit for the home run. Riley hit one to dead center fastball. Like I said, he's going to have to find a way, Chip, if he wants to get into that even fourth and fifth inning to get that curveball over.
Swing and a high fly by Dansby, headed for the monster. That is high off the wall. Nicely played by Lynn. Throw coming to second, and ball dropped, and Dansby, after a slight collision, is in safely.
You all right?
Yep.
Boy, Lynn played that ball great. Showed off a cannon of an arm.
Well, and that goes to show you how close that wall is and how fast. I mean, Dansby, a fast runner. If he makes this tag, he's out. I mean, the ball beat him. You said that you don't tell you, for a guy that hasn't played the monster that much, that was a darn good job.
So a double for Dansby, his 11th of the year. And Arauz couldn't hang on to a perfect throw. And the inning continues, and sure enough, Weber's got to face Freddie Freeman now.
Well, this is where it's so tough. You start going lefty, righty. Look, there's a base open, but as we said earlier, do you want to face Marcell again? He just took you deep for a 2-run homer, and he's had success off you.
Freddie hits it in the air to shallow right. And Arauz is under. He's got it, and that will retire the side. Braves threaten, fail to score. Paul Bird. There he is. It's not Easter, Paul. It's September 1. Trip. It's continued so far tonight. 2 runs, 4 hits in their first 2 looks at Ryan Weber. Ian Anderson now will begin his second inning of play with Atlanta native Michael Chavis leading off. A couple of homers, 7 RBIs for Chavis, and a high strike. It's 0-1.
Love how he's able to mix it up. Versus the Yankees last week, 40 fastballs, 35 changeups, 15 curves. Went 8 out of 11 to the first 3 hitters. And then a good fastball hitter like Bogarts went 2 curveballs and 2 changeups on him.
And in that game against the Yankees, we noticed immediately, Jeff, he wasn't throwing his pitches to one spot. He could throw all of those pitches to different places, which made it even more tough for New York. Little roller hit toward third. Riley charges, throws, and close play and in time. Chavis got down the line in good shape. Good play by Riley, who's not just doing it with the bat. That was a tough play to get a fast runner by a quarter step. 1 out.
Change up in. You said fast runner. Austin made a good throw.
First ground ball out for Ian Anderson. Now Jackie Bradley Jr. is the hitter. The Boston center fielder. Terrific player. Broken bat. Bouncing ball to second. Camargo's got that. Love seeing Ian get the ball on the ground. He did that a lot against New York as well. That was a point that Tyler Flowers made in his Zoom call with Kelly today. As good as the Braves defense has been, why not get them involved early in the count?
Well, look, now you got 4 pitches this inning and 2 outs quick.
Cut the light up.
I think Joe West told him to turn the light off somewhere.
He's no Tom Bodett. As Yairo Munoz, the DH tonight, is the next Boston hitter. Just a bit high, 1 ball, no strikes. Former Cardinal. On the ground. Oh, what a pick by Riley. Tough play and a bad throw, but Freeman applies the tag. 3 outs very, very quickly and efficiently. I think 6 or 7 pitches. Love it. 2-0 Atlanta. We go to the 3rd. Oh, and Austin Riley has made a couple of dandies already tonight in Boston.
Yeah. Great backhanded play. About the 3rd or 4th time we've seen him do that the last couple games. Did that in Philly the other night on a tough play. You said, I just feel like every game you're seeing a kid that's getting confident. Remembers what it feels like to contribute, be that guy. And
Ozuna spun his wheels getting out of the box, and Weber retires him on one pitch. That's how the top of the third starts. Ozuna with the 2-run homers accounted for all the offense. Well, you saw the shot of Ron Washington in the Braves third base coaching box. When you've come to Truist Park and you've seen the Braves working out before the game, you've seen Ron Washington with a fungo in his hand, with Freddie Freeman, with Austin Riley, Dansby Swanson, Ozzie Albies, tirelessly going over the drills, and it's paying off.
There's no coach that outworks Wash.
No question.
I promise you that.
Nick Markakis robbed of a hit by Bogarts his first time, takes a strike. Nick just rolling merrily along with a .368 average. d'Arnaud will be next after Markakis. One and two.
Played a big shift on Nick, which kind of like Freddie, Nick kind of plays into what he wants to do, especially with 2 strikes.
The 1-2, and Nick didn't get the breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Weber has his first strikeout. And Travis d'Arnaud is coming up. He's our Stats with Lowe's feature of the game.
Not played at Fenway too much. 8 for 17 coming into this game, and he's reached base safely in all 12 games he's played against the Sox. And he carried that on tonight with the first inning single.
So hits for d'Arnaud in 17 of his last 20 games. And Weber missed badly inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
I think that last curveball to Markakis was the first pitch we've seen him get a swing and miss on that.
Well, he doesn't get many.
No.
Ball is in play a lot. As this one shot toward right. Verdugo on the run near the pesky pole. And into and out of the seats. Heard us reference the pesky pole a couple of times. Johnny Pesky, a legendary Boston Red Sox player. Once called Mr. Red Sox. And number 6 retired in his honor. With so many of the other greats that have worn the Boston colors. The pitch on the ground to third. Devers, nice play, 360 spin, and the stretch at first will retire the side. A 3 up, 3 down third for Weber. 2-0 Atlanta in game 2.
Brought to you by Xfinity X5, blazing fast Wi-Fi with no curveballs, and by Synovus, the bank of here.
Boston Harbor, Braves leading the Red Sox 2-0 in game 2. We invite you to stream Braves baseball live on the Fox Sports Go app. It's presented by Georgia Drives Chevy. What a beautiful city, Boston, Mass.
Yeah, what a beautiful bottom second for Ian Anderson. 7 pitches.
So he set down 6 in a row after the leadoff single by Verdugo. And now Tzu-Wei Lin will bat for the first time. Lin out of Taiwan has the most ever hits in the major leagues by a Taiwanese-born player. He has 38 of them. Entering action tonight. Showed a great arm in left, almost nabbed Dansby Swanson on his double. And he's quickly down a strike. Lynn hitting .130 on the year. He's ridden the Boston Pawtucket shuttle the last couple of seasons. Pushed him off the plate at 96. 1 ball, 1 strike. A broken bat hit leads off the 3rd inning. So hit number 39 for Lynn in the major leagues. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate in the Boston 3rd.
Change up that Ian left up in the zone. Didn't hit it hard, but found a hole.
So here's Arauz for Boston, native of Panama. Was acquired by the Astros with Ken Giles in that big trade that involved Vince Velasquez and Mark Apple. Arauz, the 9th place hitter. Looks at a ball low. 1 ball, no strikes. He went 0 for 4 last night. And got the ball. Well, didn't get the ball out of the infield once. Oh, those at bats a strikeout.
And Chris Martin struck him out in the 7th on 3 pitches. He's looked good since he's came back.
He's looked good. Minter's looked good. Melanson picked up his 7th save last night. Rays beat Boston 6-3 and have an early 2-0 lead in game 2 tonight. On the ground, right side, 1 play. Camargo will make it. And Lynn goes to second, and Verdugo's coming up with a man in scoring position.
Now, good pitch by Ian. You wanted to get an out with Verdugo coming up the top of the order. Last thing you wanted was 2 runners on with no outs. Made a good pitch, fastball in, and jammed him.
But still he got a hit. So as you look at Verdugo, Jeff, how do you attack him now? Because he's obviously roasting hot.
Well, you got ahead with fastballs and you came in. I still think for Ian, the pitch that he can go to get Verdugo is the changeup. But I like him coming back with some fastballs early.
Threw a 96-mile-an-hour heater to start the night. And a changeup there is spiked low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Look, sometimes when a guy's seen it like this, you battle him. I mean, there's no easy way. We saw him. We've barely seen any lefties get hits off Max Fried, much less 3 doubles last night.
Boy, Max has had some great games for the Braves this year. I was impressed with last night's as much as any of them. As that's taken a little low, ball 2.
Yeah, he had a battle last night.
Yeah.
First time really all year that I thought the whole game. You know, he had an inning in Philly. I think that last inning where he had the bases loaded, got Harper. But really the whole game we saw control-wise just didn't have it last night, and still was able to go out there and pitch a good ball game.
Didn't get 95 up in the zone. 2 balls and a strike.
And I think that was the one thing I know Snit, as you see, goes fastball a little bit up in the zone, blows it right by him, 2-0. But Snit, I think Snit was a little worried doing the fact that he didn't want Max to feel like he's got to go out there and do 7 innings and be perfect every time, because that's not fair to him.
On the ground and into center field, a base hit. Lynn's coming around third. There'll be no play. Verdugo has another multi-hit game against Atlanta, and the Red Sox have cut the lead in half. Somebody wake up Alex Verdugo. He is unstoppable for Boston right now.
It's a really same pitch, Chip, that the 2-0 was. The difference, that one was a little bit down in the zone. And the one he threw 2-0 was a little bit up. Was able to get it past him. Now what? Another ball that wasn't hit that hard, just found a hole.
So 13 RBIs for the Boston leadoff man. And here's Vasquez, who represents the go-ahead run. He flied out to right in his first trip. No balls and a strike. And a little late, quickly 0-2. Last time the Braves have won a series in Boston was 2002. And Mike Remlinger was the winning pitcher.
Wow.
In 2 of those 3 games.
That was a long time ago.
Luckily for Mike, he had just as much gray in his beard then as he does now. As it's 0-2 to Christian Vasquez, the Boston catcher, and fouled out of play. So a couple of hits. Lynn and Verdugo. Arauz with his ground out made a productive out. It gave Verdugo a chance to hit with a man in scoring position. Now Rafael Devers waits next. The Boston hitters have a much better idea of what Ian Anderson's featuring tonight as they face him the second time. Did he go? Yeah, Joe West will ring him up. Good pitch. That's a great lesson, isn't it, Jeff? You don't have to throw strikes to get them. And Anderson spiked that ball and has his second strikeout.
Yeah, not when you're around the plate, getting them 0-2, 1-2. And threw a good pitch, getting them to chase. And I think that's a good thing about 7-pitch inning, bottom part of the lineup. Now you enable yourself, if you got to throw a couple extra pitches to set something up, you can do it. Only 34 pitches, so very efficient.
Be careful here, however. Rafael Devers, a powerful man. He flied out to left his first time up. That'll get his attention. 1 ball, no strikes. Huge year for Devers last year. 32 homers, 115 RBIs. He scored 129 times. That's why he hits third. And Devers just 23 years old. That one bounced away from Darno. Verdugo moves up. That'll be a wild pitch.
Devers got off to a rough start this year, first 20 games or so, but last 12 games, 353 with 4 homers and 15 RBIs. So heating up for Boston at the right time.
We are seeing so many great players all around Major League Baseball, and it's a shame we don't see the Red Sox an awful lot. But the 21, 22, 23-year-old kids that are putting up gigantic numbers like Devers and Acuna, for example. Man, the next decade's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And that's low ball 3. You've got Bogarts waiting next.
And this is a situation I'm talking, you can carefully pitch around them. You know, 3-0, you want to be careful even if you get a strike. 3-1. You know, Bogarts, you threw 2 curveballs, 2 changeups, kind of had your way with them the first time.
Sharply hit into right field, a base hit. Verdugo around third. Duvall's throw coming toward the plate. It's going to be up the line. And he got the green light. He made the most of it. And he's tied the game with a base hit to right. So Devers has his 21st RBI, and we start anew. It's 2-2.
That's why, Chip, I feel like 3-0, man, it's the new 2-0. Everybody's swinging. You get a fastball in the zone, and these guys, as you said, are so talented. They're not missing. Verdugo, pretty good speed here, so it would have taken a really good throw by Duvall to get him. It was up the line a little bit.
So Boston's tied it up 2-2. And here's Bogarts, a right-hand hitter. So after a 7-pitch second inning, Ian's had to labor a bit here with a couple of hits, actually 3 of them for the Red Sox in the inning.
Bogart's now between his first, second at bat. I've seen 6 pitches, 4 changeups, 2 curveballs.
So ball and a strike. And out 2-1. On the backswing, Bogart's made contact with d'Arnaud, unintentionally, of course, and that foul ball evens it up 2-2. I think Joe West is in a chatty mood behind the plate.
He is.
Tonight.
I think we've seen him smile 2 or 3 times. Doesn't have any fans getting on him, so that's probably nice.
Told somebody to turn the light off. I mean, it's been a banner night for him. And a swing and a miss. Good changeup puts the fire out for Boston, but they tie the game. 2 runs on 3 hits. We go to the 4th. In Boston, Austin Riley is going to lead off. He is our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
Multi-hit games in 5 of the last 8. He's raised his average over 70 points the last 8 games.
And in 27 other ballparks, he would have had a 2-run homer that would have extended the Braves' lead to 4-0.
28. That ball's gone out of Coors Field. StatCast can say all it wants. Ball's out.
You don't.
Yes, I do. Yes, I will.
That is a major league rule.
That ball's out. Ball's way gone.
So you're saying that ball that Riley hit would have been deeper into the woods in Coors Field than Paul Bird was here at Truist Park?
Yeah, Birdie would have had to go a lot farther to the mountains to find that in Colorado.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
But you know, in all seriousness, watching Austin Riley, look, he came up last year, had a lot of success. You know, not so much the second half of the season. This year, good spring training. COVID happens, comes out, had a rough little chance. I'm telling you, it is a huge difference now seeing his face when he comes into the clubhouse every day, knowing I'm playing third and I'm going to hit 5th, 6th, or 7th. There's not, gosh, I need to get 2 hits tonight if I want to play tomorrow. And for a young kid now to have that confidence to know that, it's a freeing feeling.
1-2 count. And Riley popped this one up, golfed it, and Chavis at first base says he's got it and does. And Weber's settling in now. He's set down 5 in a row. And 7 of 8. So after a rough start, Weber's giving Ron Renicky innings and outs and giving his offense a chance to catch up. And they've done that to make it a 2-2 game. Here's Adam. How much of Austin's success this year, Jeff, at least in the last couple of weeks, is not just the point you made about relaxation and knowing you're going to play and having some good results, but we talk all the time about the book, the so-called book that hitters have written about them and the book that they have to file away, you know, erase the memory banks and all, and go see guys a time or 2 through the league.
I think that's something to do with it. I also think that, you know, we don't get a chance now to get down there and talk to them as much as we used to, but I think when you look at Austin too, it's the fact that he just, to me, simplified it at the plate. All of a sudden it was like a click that you saw that his approach looked totally different. So I got to imagine that he worked on something, found something that has, you know, triggered it, and now he's just kind of riding that success.
And you went through that too as a young player.
Oh gosh, it's a battle. They figure you out, you figure them out, and eventually I think he'll find his little happy medium place. But it was, you know, for him, I think it was tough to start early this year, but that's the great thing about Snit and the staff. They kept running him out there, and now they're getting rewarded by it.
I know Birdie wants to weigh in. First, the 2-1 pitch. And a beautiful outside corner. Paul, what do you think? What are you seeing from Riley?
Well, I think he's getting more comfortable with breaking balls. A 22-year-old slider is different than a 28 to a 33-year-old slider. In my opinion, in the big leagues, they're just better. They're sharper. They're more refined. Look at the difference in Fried in 1 year, last year versus this year. And I think sometimes you have to see those before you can make an adjustment as a hitter.
Weber strikes out Duvall looking. That's his second strikeout. 2 up, 2 down. And Johan Camargo the batter.
Yeah, I definitely think, look, the off-speed got him last year. He was very cognizant of it. He talked about it. He did all this stuff this offseason to get to the point where he could hit it. I felt like he, gave his strength up, which is hitting fastballs. And I feel like he's gotten back to doing that too. And then as Birdie said, look, if they throw a good slider, you're probably not going to hit it anyways.
Fly ball toward left center. That should be a can of corn for Bradley. He's got it at the edge of the warning track, and Weber's retired 7 straight with just 51 pitches. Cobb, Chip and Jeff with you in our Truist Park studios. Paul Bird and Kelly Kroll out in the wilderness somewhere behind us. As the Braves and Red Sox battle on at Fenway Park, Ian Anderson has a 2-2 game on his hands with Chavis, Bradley, and Munoz coming up for the Red Sox. And a line drive hit to left, playable for Markakis. That ball knuckled a bit, but Nick stayed with it. And Chavis is retired for out number 1.
This is a part of the lineup last time, the second inning, where he was able to get 7 pitches on 3 outs. Chavis, Bradley, and Munoz. See if he can get another quick inning here. Good work coming back to strike out Bogarts last inning. And I think, look, it's a great learning thing, I think, for Ian on that 3-0 pitch to Devers, Chip, with a righty coming up. Look, a hitter like him who's hot right now, like you said, these guys swing 3-0 all the time. I mean, they really do.
Well, I agree with Chris Woodward, the Texas manager. That should not be allowed. Nobody should be allowed to swing 3-0 ever again if they're facing the Braves. Swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, but we'll let Freddie and the other guys do it.
Yeah, our guys are fine, no problem. As Bradley, 30 years young, former ALCS most valuable player. Boston got this guy as a compensation draft pick when Adrian Beltre went to the Texas Rangers as a free agent. That turned out well for Boston.
Hey, he's done a good job up in Boston.
One ball, 2 strikes. Josh Taylor is the man warming up in the Boston bullpen. As a perfect paint job by Anderson there. Upper inside corner, and Bradley frozen. And Joe West rings him up for strikeout number 4.
Now, a quick message from Truist.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
50 pitches for Ian. He got Munoz to bounce out to Austin Riley. A fine play by the Braves man manning the hot corner. Munoz, former Cardinal, acting as the DH tonight. And that's way upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
Perfect pitch, strike out Bradley on 96, top of the zone in. Not much he could do, and Joe West gave him the call.
Ow.
That's right above the shin guard. Right on that bone. Ow. I named my left leg Brandon Webb about 12 years ago.
Mr. Sinker.
Twice in 1AB, same spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the second time I thought I was going to, I thought I was done. And you know he's coming right back.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And downstairs for an even count. Boy, Brandon Webb was such a good pitcher.
It was the best sinker I ever saw. Those 2-3 years out there in Arizona, I mean, it was unhittable.
Man, oh man. Just watching the games, you'd hear guys say he's throwing bowling balls. And Munoz to a knee, fouls that away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And then he mixed in a changeup later in his career that was coming out of the same thing. And that's kind of what Ian right here, 95, and that changeup comes out of the same spot. It's tough to figure out which one's coming.
Breaking ball past a diving Riley and headed for the left field corner. Munoz is on his way to second. Big turn there. And he will stop with a 2-out double. Extra base hit will make that left leg feel a whole lot better as Boston has the go-ahead run in scoring position.
Yeah, that one got just enough of the plate where he was able to stay back on it. Last time he ripped one at Austin. Austin made the play. This time a little out of reach for him.
So the Red Sox have their 5th hit of the game. And Sue Lin is the batter. He singled and scored the first Boston run.
Well, trading away Moreland, trading away Kevin Pillar yesterday and the day before. You know, I think that's 3 or 4 positions. Boston's going to give a lot of these guys chances to put up numbers this year and try to solidify a spot going into spring next year.
This is where the game does feel like it's somewhat normal. This is when you'd have September call-up time.
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of unfamiliar faces for clubs out of contention would get playing time anyway. And for Boston, barring a September miracle, is probably not going to be one of the 16 playoff teams in Major League Baseball this year. As that's upstairs high, they have a new regime. Chaim Bloom came over from the Tampa Bay Rays. He's in their front office, replacing Dave Dombrowski. Ron Renicke's the manager. David Price and Mookie Betts now playing in Los Angeles. There is a different feel with this Red Sox ball club. But you know one thing, that is a cash cow at Fenway Park.
Well, exactly, and that's what I said. You've had kind of different regimes in there. Theo, a little bit more of a numbers based, and still had great players. But then Dombrowski loves the free agency and wheeling and dealing, and they both won World Series that way. But I think in the last year or so for the Red Sox, when it fell hard.
A swing and a miss. Anderson's changeup continues to dazzle. He has struck out 5 Red Sox, and the Braves bats will go back to work. It starts with Ender and Ciarte as we move to inning 5 at Fenway. Day for Freddie Freeman. That's the subject of our Bojangles Big Bo moment. Look at how young Freddie Freeman looked on September 1st, 2010 in his Major League debut.
Now my favorite here. There you go. Kind of think it's a mix between Biff from Back to the Future and Buzz from Home Alone. And early on. I mean, you know.
Who might argue?
I'm kidding.
But
it's so funny when you see pictures of guys making their debuts and just the difference in Freddie in 10 years.
But that to me is the shocking thing. 10 years with Freddie Freeman in a Braves uniform has truly gone by, Jeff, in a blink of an eye.
But really the last 2-3 years for me is when he's developed into just the player that he is, and that's to me a top 5 hitter in all of baseball. you know, you have guys like Ronald and Soto, these guys that are a little more flashy, kind of do everything. But as I said, Freddie, you can bank on that card every year being what it is.
Braves are facing Josh Taylor, left-handed pitcher. Weber went 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, no walks, struck out a couple of batters. He also hit one. But this has been the Achilles heel, if you will, for the Red Sox all year. Their bullpen has thrown more innings than any other relief staff in the big leagues. And they've got to throw at least 5 more tonight in a 2-2 game.
And to mention that, it's not a bullpen like Atlanta where you got a bunch of guys on the back end and even middle relief putting up big years. They're kind of trying to find some arms down there.
Well, they think they found one in this guy out of the bullpen. Taylor, among American League rookies, 2nd best ERA, 3rd best strikeouts per 9, 2nd best opponent's OPS, on base plus slugging. Not bad for a man they acquired from the Arizona Diamondbacks in mid-May 2 years ago. One ball, 2 strikes for Ender, who tapped back to the mound his first time. And this one's up the middle, but Bogarts makes a nice play to get Ender by a step. And there's out number 1 for Dansby Swanson. The Braves leadoff man has grounded out and doubled. He's also earned our Bringing the Lumber honors presented by Yellowwood.
Reached base safely in 11 of the last 12. And hit 373 from the leadoff spot. So it's been nice to be able to have him take over that leadoff spot when Ronald's out, and also just drop down a spot when Ronald comes back.
And I was just going to say, if you're just joining us, Kelly had a great story on the status of Ronald Acuna Jr. The Braves put him through a baseball workout, I guess is what it was called. I'm sure there was a sports specific term for it. Kelly, maybe you can help me with that. But he looked like he was running without any kind of difficulty. Swung the bat in the cage, took batting practice, actually got on the batting practice slope and threw a couple of batting practice pitches just for fun, just to make sure everything was all right.
Look, I think this game 1 of the division series, he's in the lineup tonight. Right. They're giving him a little time to make sure that thing heals and there's no more problems there. So, look, that's a big part of his game. So running the ball down the outfield, speed, running the bases. So for him, he's got to be healthy.
So we'll see if he's in the lineup tomorrow night. As this ball is hammered toward third, Devers has it. And a perfect throw gets Dansby. That's the 2nd out.
Been a lot of hot shots to third base tonight on both sides. Devers, Riley making some nice plays.
And that'll bring up Freddie, who's been hit by a pitch. He's scored a run and he's popped out. Missed the Sunday night game. You missed Bryce Harper's wonderful compliment during the live broadcast where he talked about Freddie Freeman might be the most underrated player in the game. That was very classy for Bryce to say.
Well, I think it's so true, and Bryce sees it year in, year out between the Nationals and Phillies, and Braves fans know that. But I think, like you said, we hear so many different announcers and players that come in and leave after 3 days, and wow, you know, just the all-around game, and that's, you know, the thing you love, seeing the Braves be able to play some of those national games and be in the spotlight, get to the playoffs where he can really show.
That bounces up for Freddie Freeman. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good fastball away. Beat Freddie to the spot.
Here's a number for you. Freddie's 12 hits away from 1,500 in his major league career. Figure he'll fly by that in this final month of September. He's 174 RBIs away from 1,000 in the major leagues. So you've take it all out. Freddie's averaging 150 hits, 80 RBIs, and 22 homers a year for a decade.
And really, I think if you would break that down even more, the last 5 years, you'd really get what Freddie's become.
Right. He's had some injury bad luck the last couple of years, or within the last couple of years, I should say. The pitch is outside, 3-2. Not to mention, in a 10-year career, Freddie Freeman's made 60 errors. We don't even talk about his defense. He's a Gold Glover, the first Atlanta Brave first baseman ever to win the Gold Glove. And maybe on the way to a Hall of Fame career. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And a great at bat brings up Ozuna. That's the other thing about Freddie. You know, he wants to do damage, and that's not what Boston wanted. Taylor to walk the left-handed Freeman to face the right-hand hitting Ozuna, who's already homered tonight. Nine homers, 25 RBIs for Marcel, who stares down Josh Taylor. Marcel's on another great run. We'll show you how great are tonight's landmark always the best deal feature.
You see those numbers the last 11 games. More important, protecting Freddie. And when Freddie and Danzig have been getting on, he has been driving them in, doing what a cleanup hitter's supposed to do.
Marcel looked back at Joe West and said, "Ooh, thank you. That was close. 2 balls, no strikes." Two-0. Grazed a corner. 2 balls and a strike.
Backdoor slider. Not a pitch. 2-0 Marcel's looking for.
Number 20 for Taylor in the Atlanta 5th. Not close. Ball 3. Got another lefty bat. Markakis coming up next, perhaps. But lefties don't bother Nick, so all help would be appreciated here. Through a hook. Now it's a full count. Freddie will get a head start with 2 outs at first base, but got to make Taylor throw it to the plate.
Yeah, we'll see. He threw 2-0 slider, 3-1 slider. So obviously that's a pitch, Chip, that he's very comfortable throwing for a strike. He's missed that fastball we've seen up and away to Marcel.
Runner goes. The pitch is caught on and missed. Marcel missed a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and the Braves are out of luck in the 5th.
2 outs. Man on second, starting off with the first pitch hook. Check it out. Ian Anderson back with the changeup, down and away, looking good. Now he's going to give a little high heat. Now he's going to go up a little more. Coming back with a change away. Watch this. Beautiful. I want to say this, as a pitcher who's been up here for a while and now retired, you can't always throw a one-hitter. I've learned that. It's hard to pitch. But I want to see a young guy get out there with guys on base, relax, breathe, and make his pitch. That is a huge step when I see a young pitcher do that. Guys, this guy is not only very qualified with a great changeup and fastball and spin rate and all that stuff you talk about. But he can cage the monster and he can pitch when he's in trouble.
Well, he hasn't had a whole lot of trouble, Paul. Just one dicey frame. That was the third inning when Boston tagged him for 2 runs on 3 hits.
Look, and he gave up 2 hits to Verdugo and Devers, who, quite frankly, those guys have been getting hits off everybody, including Max Fried last night.
Yep. Robert Stock getting ready in the Boston bullpen. Looks like he'll come on in the 6th inning.
Look, I think he's right where he needs to be. 5th inning. Pitch count relatively low still. So, you know, looks good to me. And hopefully keep seeing him going tonight. Give us 6 innings. Who knows? Maybe even more.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Arauz. And that ball swung on and missed in the dirt. And that is 6 strikeouts for Ian Anderson. 1 man down, back to the top of the order. Birdie.
Well, I love this breaking ball down. Great changeup, good curve, as you see right there. And you guys know the old adage, if you start 30 times, 5 of those you're just going to be on no matter what. 5 of those you're going to really struggle. What can you do with the ones in between, especially if you don't have your good stuff or you get in trouble, you have to compete. And I see a lot of this, and this guy right here is pitching very mature. I love the poise, and let's face it, we need starting pitching, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, I think it's important to see what he pitches like in a tight game. He had a big lead against the Yankees. This one's 2-2.
Well, and let's say what it is, Birdie. No walks tonight. So everything he's doing, they're having to earn. And he's got 6 Ks, 3 on the changeup, 2 on the curveball, 1 on the fastball. Can go a lot of different places to get that big strikeout.
And I'm not afraid to say it. I mean, he may give up 4 runs now. I don't really care, but I see both sides of the plate. Fastballs. I see changeups and fastball counts. He's pitching like a veteran. And that's just very unusual for a young man who's 22 in his 2nd start.
Of the 3 pitches that he features, Birdie, would you say the curveball is the one that's the least refined in his arsenal?
So his curveball coming in was supposed to be his wipeout pitch, his strikeout pitch, his best. It's not. It's his changeup. He throws his changeup with more confidence. He throws it at any time.
But he just threw a curveball to Verdugo, and the Braves finally solved him. And that's the 2nd out. I love the fact, Birdie, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, I love the fact that he's still throwing it in a big league game. The only way it's going to get better is to use it, and he just used it very effectively to get the leadoff man.
He did, and that's what's important is his curveball's not far behind it. And he has the ability, like did in the first game to Gardner, who when he threw the 2-1, the 3-2 changeup, next time Gardner's sitting on that and he throws the fastball. So he has the ability to read a hitter and know what he's looking for and change it up. So if you're looking changeup, and then he throws the curve, the cutter, the high fastball, that's where you're pitching. And here you go, first pitch breaking ball, 4 strike, doesn't try to throw the nasty breaker to make somebody look stupid. He just lays it in there. That is pitching.
Well, it should have been a strike, Birdie. Joe West didn't give it to him.
Joe, you're making me look bad.
Well,
here.
then he just called him going for that one.
It's a makeup call right there.
That was. And the best part about Joe West, he's probably telling him that.
Well, he went around.
I gave you a break on the first one.
So pitches 69, 70, and 71, all breaking balls to the Boston leadoff man and now catcher, Christian Vasquez, who's 0 for 2. And he threw another one. Slow roller is going to turn into a hit unless it takes a hard left turn. And that's the breaks of baseball. He made a great pitch, but the catcher reaches with an infield single.
And I'll tell you what's funny, though. You play in some of these parks, Wrigley Field, Boston, the grass there is longer. And these are where, you know, here in Atlanta, that ball probably goes foul. Or a lot of those parks in L.A. where the sod's really low, up there it just deadens. That's speed.
True story at Wrigley Field. Ozzie, he's high stepping. I love it. Inning ends. Ozzie Virgil's going out to start a new inning to go pick up the baseball. He can't find it in the infield grass at Wrigley Field one time. He had to actually climb to the top of the pitcher's mound and look around to see it. And it was sitting up like an egg.
Oh, I remember in Texas in 2010 when I went there, Nolan Ryan was our president. That grass was like the British Open rough in the infield, and then you go to the outfield and it's literally like concrete out there.
Right.
And I said it was so funny. You never saw infield hits in Texas.
That's part of the home field advantage. You can manicure it to suit your club. There's no way Vasquez is going to take off despite his flying feet. 2 balls, no strikes. He's throwing that breaking ball a lot. I like it. Why not? 6 strikeouts, no walks, as Jeff said. He's scattered 6 Boston hits.
Man, 3 of those hits really weren't hit that hard.
Right. Spike that one, and d'Arnaud came out of his crouch. And Vasquez will take second on what should be a wild pitch. That'll be the second one of those for Ian tonight.
That's a tough for a catcher. You know the ball's going to bounce, come up. There's a changeup, and it's really just kind of hoping it lands in your glove.
So here we have a repeat of the 3rd inning. Remember, he was 3-0 to Devers. Threw a fat pitch that cost him a run. He's got the right hand hitting Bogaerts on deck, and Bogaerts is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He's smart here. And he was, ball 4. So the first walk, but that was a smart one.
We saw what happened last time on 3-0 to Devers. RBI hit to right field. I think Ian knew there. You know what? I'll put him on. Struck out the next guy twice. I'll take my chances.
So first and second for the Sox, as Tommy Glavine would call him.
Yeah, Tommy's sulking tonight. His Bruins went home last night.
Oh, really?
They did, yeah.
I didn't see that. I was so locked into the game last night, I didn't know that last year's Eastern Conference finalists are headed home. Well, maybe next year, Tommy. Bogaerts has seen 1 fastball tonight.
Yeah, struck him out both times on changeups. He's throwing a lot of curveballs early, changeups. Well, you see Bogaerts' numbers this year. He's having a great year, consistent. One of the best shortstops in baseball.
Wish we saw more of him.
Yeah.
2 on, 2 out, 2-2 game. And rolled foul. And out of play. The 2021 schedule is out, and again the Braves are going to be playing the American League East in interleague play next season. I hope in the years to come we'll have more of an NBA type schedule where we'll see every team at least once a series in every championship season. Don't know how they could make it work so that fans can see stars like Bogaerts or Mike Trout either on TV or in your ballpark every season. Maybe that's in the offing after this 2020 year. Something else will change at the All-Star game next year. That was announced by baseball. As this one's rolled toward third, Riley will step on the bag, and we'll tell you what that change in baseball will be when we come back. We're through 5 in Boston. Nick Markakis leads off in a 2-2 game.
Braves baseball is brought to you by Bojangles. It's Bow time. Delta Airlines. And by your local Ford dealer.
How much chowder is being consumed in Boston as we speak on a beautiful 69-degree night.
I was going to say how many pints.
A lot. Hopefully the baseball will look that big for the Braves in the 6th inning. Markakis, d'Arnaud, and Riley are coming up at Fenway Park. Robert Stock is on for the 5th time. Saw him last night. Pitched an inning with a couple of strikeouts.
Yeah, struck out Camargo and Inciarte in the 7th. Big fastball, 97-98. And as we said last night, has trouble finding the strike zone. Last night was around the plate.
So can he do it in back-to-back games as Boston's going inning by inning with their relievers? As Nick Markakis leads off, he's the leadoff feature presented by Truist.
Yeah, since August 12th, 9 doubles, second most behind Verdugo.
Seems like Verdugo has 9 doubles in 2 games against the Braves. As that's downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes. The Red Sox obviously are taking a page out of the Patriots playbook. They're bringing out their offensive guards and tackles to pitch the middle and late innings. Josh Taylor, number 72, Robert Stock, number 79. And promptly 3-0 for Markakis.
And I think that's the thing with these relievers, like you talk about last night. We saw him. He's been around a lot. You said it, Chip. Can you do it 2 nights in a row?
And Nick takes downstairs a 4-pitch walk. That puts the go-ahead run aboard for Atlanta in the 6th inning. All right, fellas, let's make some hay here. There's a gift. Here's d'Arnaud, who singled in one of his 2 trips. Brian Weber, the former Brave, started, gave up a 2-run homer in the first. Not a whole lot else offensively for Atlanta since. In fact, the Braves have 1 hit since the first inning. That was Dansby Swanson's double in the second. Wicked slider, and strike 1 for d'Arnaud. Line right back where it came from, and that's off Ariuz's glove, and Markakis will stop at second. A missile off the bat of d'Arnaud, and the Braves are in business with 2 on and nobody out.
And hot hitting Austin Riley coming up. You want to talk about, we've been talking about him all night, where he's hitting the ball. Look, this is his first 18 games right here. 5 sliders, 2 curveballs, a lot of off speed like we talked about, getting on the fastball. Now, his last 11 games, look at that. 8 fastballs, you got cutters, curveballs, changeup, sliders. He's covering the whole plate, which means to me he's got the right approach and he's in a great spot to hit the ball.
Saw Joe West with his pen out. Might be asking Austin for his address. We can send him one of his CDs in the offseason.
Oh, he's got him in the back.
Pretty good chance. Well, what does Riley look for here?
Well, again, the same thing. Look for that fastball, and if he throws something off speed, trust yourself to adjust. Like that. You got a hanger, he took a good rip at it. But you're not sitting on that pitch.
6-game hitting streak for Riley. He's 9 for 21 in that stretch. Drove in 3 runs last night. Chance to put the Braves in front in the 6th here. Vasquez couldn't stop that. Stock spiked it. Now 2 are in scoring position with nobody out.
Now this is where we talk about last night. Austin with that big hit put the Braves up 5-2. Then they stranded Austin at third base with no outs. And in a game like that where you get ahead, now you're in a 2-2 game. This is where the Braves have to do a good job right here. Get these 2 runs.
So the infield comes in for the Red Sox. Don't envy them that with Austin Riley's exit velo. Good speed aboard. And nobody out. Line right field, a base hit. That's going to score 1. d'Arnaud around third is going to be stopped as a terrific throw by Verdugo stops the bleeding for the moment. Atlanta takes the lead. Riley comes through. It's 3-2 Atlanta.
I mean, 2.5 weeks ago, Chip, would you ever imagine Austin Riley taking a 99-mile-per-hour fastball and doing that right there?
He'd pull off it.
And that's my point. Look how good that is. Outer part of the zone. And he's so strong. Look, all he's got to do is get the bat head there. Great job. Use your whole field. And now you set up Duvall with a chance to drive in another.
That's right. Braves cash in the leadoff walk. Riley has his 4th RBI of the series. And a chance for a big inning for the Braves. Duvall 0 for 2 tonight. Took strike 3 his last time. Good cut, 97, and fouled straight back. Braves do a lot of damage against hard throwing bullpens. They do a lot of damage scoring in the late innings. And Stock has not retired a batter yet. All of his damage on just 10 pitches. And the Red Sox bullpen goes back to work. Austin Bryce is playing catch. The pitch. Breaking ball popped him up right side near the Boston dugout, and into the Fenway Park seats. There's Mr. Bryce,
former Florida Marlin.
So Duvall's got a bit of heavy lifting to do here. He's behind 0-2. Did he go? Joe West is going to ring him up. And Duvall is the first out of the 6th inning. One away, 1st and 3rd for Johan Camargo.
Yeah, tough pitch to lay off. Adam will tell you the 2 pitches before that was his opportunity to put a ball in the outfield.
That's again something the Braves know about. They're trying to work on it. They'll need to come playoff time. Let's see if Camargo with 1 out can put it in play. Johan's 0 for 2. And that floats outside. Ball 1. Camargo trying to keep alive a 3-game hitting streak. Johan's had 2 or more hits in back-to-back games. First time he's been able to do that since 2018. So he's heating up at the right time for Atlanta. Popped him up. And Vasquez is going to have a play for the 2nd out. So 2 missed opportunities for Atlanta. It's up to Ender Inciarte if the Braves are to cash in another run here.
Good pitch. Another one though. Johan on the 1-0 pitch. Chip had a ball at 97. He took a good hack on. Was the one to put the outfield. That one pitcher's pitch.
Two ground outs for Ender in tonight's action. He's the 9th place hitter. And Anderson's been staked to another lead. This time it's 3-2. Bottom part of the Boston order's coming up in the last of the 6th. And Stock missed high. 1 ball, no strikes. Braves had him 2nd, 3rd, nobody out. Scored a run. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. They're still 1st and 3rd, but 2 outs. So Stock is a pitch away from getting out of a gigantic mess with only 1 run.
We talk about leadoff walks. They kill so many times. Walked Markakis and then Darno and Riley with the 2 singles, and it happens quick.
Ooh. Risky stab by Vasquez. If he doesn't make that play like a first baseman, it might ricochet off his foot and the Braves would pick up a run.
Well, when you're setting up for a weighing up and he goes down low at 98, you have no choice but to try to scoop it.
And the happiest man in the park was Joe West that Vasquez got leather on that. 2-2. Chopper off the plate. That's going to be a tough play. Close at first and not in time. Infield hit for Ender, and the Braves get a 4th run. A Baltimore chop for Ender Inciarte in Boston, Mass, and the Braves get a 2nd run in the 6th inning.
Good hustle. Look, you'll take it however you can get it.
So Riley moves to 2nd on the infield hit. Braves take a 2-run lead again. It's a 4-2 score. And Ron Renicke's on his way out to get Stock, who's thrown 20 pitches. He's retired just 2 of the 6 hitters he's assigned, and Austin Bryce will come on to face Dansby Swanson next. Income Financial Services. Dan has been a member for 20 years, and his favorite A-list perks are the concessions discounts and being able to reward hardworking employees with a fun night out. Congrats to Dan Cars, tonight's A-list member of the game. So as Jeff mentioned, Austin Bryce, a former Marlin and former Red, is on to try to end the Atlanta 6th inning. Neat bit of biography for Austin Bryce. He is the first player born in Hong Kong to play in Major League Baseball, and is the first Chinese-born player to appear in a game for the Red Sox.
And now a quick message from Delta.
Bryce was a shortstop in high school, but with that great arm was converted to a pitcher and went from Miami to Cincinnati in the Dan Straley deal in 2019. Now he's made his way to Boston after some injury issues. Braves have taken a 4-2 lead again. Dansby Swanson, the leadoff man, has doubled tonight.
When you look at his average against, 230. Hitters aren't exactly hitting him, but high ERA, and you go look, high walks. He's had another pitcher's had issues limiting the damage.
That's the key. Got to throw quality strikes. And Bryce is having some trouble with that. Threw a good one to Dansby to start the at bat. Now it's 0-1 here in the 6th inning. This guy's got a quick arm action, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's kind of funky where it comes from the side a little bit, but you know, that's what makes these guys so deceptive. You just don't see them a lot. And no high velocity. I mean, 94, 95 from there. It's pretty good.
Austin Riley's been pretty good. Another RBI tonight, 4 in the series. Nice long rest for Ian Anderson. Nobody moving a muscle in the Braves bullpen. He's going to come back out for another frame, as that one is cut on and missed, and 3 pitches ends the Atlanta 6th inning. But 2 runs come across on 3 Atlanta hits. It's 4-2. Well, partner, this is a week that Ian Anderson will never, ever forget. His first 2 starts in the major leagues against the Yankees and the Red Sox, and he's got a chance to win them both.
Yeah, and being in the National League. You know, it'd be one thing if you were in the American League East doing it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're coming back out for the 6th inning again. I think this shows you the confidence that, you know, Snit already has in him. Just in his 2nd start, he's earned the chance to come back out and keep going.
He's got Chavis, Bradley, and Munoz. Always wonder with a young starter, when you have a long rest like he had, what kind of stuff they'll have next inning out. We're about to find out. The changeup had Chavis missing. Ball and a strike for the Boston first baseman. Rip toward third and foul.
Well, the bottom part of this lineup, 5 through 9, he's had a lot of success off tonight. 2 for 10 with 3 Ks. Scattered 2 hits, but he's done nice work.
One ball, 2 strikes. Got a piece of Joe West. Now the Red Sox have their tight end, Kyle Hart, getting ready.
I was going to say, that's a perfect number.
1-2 pitch. Tried a high fastball. It's 2-2. Same rule applies here. You want action here. Don't walk the leadoff man.
I like that pitch, just a little too low. He got him to swing at it a minute ago. I wouldn't mind seeing him come back with it right here. Just throw this one for a strike.
It's ripped to left, but right at Nick Markakis.
We got a guy there.
Yep. The old Adam Ball. And Chavis 0 for 7 in the series. Here's Jackie Bradley Jr. Braves bullpen's going to start getting busy now. Anderson up at 85 pitches. A.J. Minter's the first guy playing catch in the right field bullpens. Bradley 0 for 2, grounded out and struck out looking. And upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Brave starters that have gone at least 5 innings twice or more this year. There are 3 of them.
Max Fried, Mike Soroka, and Ian Anderson. And look, it's unfair to expect him to go out there in the second start and continue to, you know, to me, do this. But at the same time, someone needed to step up, and he's done it now 2 times in a row against 2 pretty good offenses.
Mistake there. And Bradley was looking back at Joe West, who may have signaled foul ball, but it clearly hit him. Yep.
I think he was asking Travis if he was okay, because it ricocheted and smoked him.
It did. So the tying run to the plate, Brian Snitker pondering, as Munoz is the batter. He doubled his last time up. Munoz, 25 years old. Infielder. But with Paul DeYoung set up in St. Louis, he wasn't going to get a whole lot of playing time with the Cardinals, so Boston Red Sox happy to have him. Signed him as a free agent. His minor league contract if the Cardinals released him.
2 good curveballs. He's got him to swing through.
And another. If he can't hit it, keep throwing it. And Anderson has another strikeout. That's 7. That's a new major league high. He struck out 6 Yankees in his debut. And just like that, 2 outs in the inning.
What a great pitch. After 2 of them, sometimes you tend to try to make that 3rd one nasty, which you either spike it, chip, or you end up hanging it. And he threw it in the same spot, got him to chase.
So 1 more man to get. Sue Lin is the Boston hitter. He singled, scored, and struck out.
He's found that curveball all of a sudden the last 2 innings. We talked about it. To me, fastball changeup being his 2 best pitches, but as I've heard from scouts and other people, they love his curveball, and you've seen it the last 2 innings be very effective.
And as you said, Jeff, got 3 pitches on time. That can be a long night for an opponent. And he's just saying, here it comes, guys. Hit it if you can. And right now the Red Sox can't.
Well, it's just great location. He throws the first one, you know, for just to get me over, and then he's able to put that one down at the bottom part of the zone. And now 0-2, you can go back with that, or you can do something else.
He's going to throw him another one.
Yep.
Cano's had a good night behind the plate. Tyler Flowers was excellent last night with Max Fried. One ball, 2 strikes. 2-2.
Good job by Travis. Keeping that runner at first.
Strike three right down the middle. 8 strikeouts for Ian Anderson. And if that's the swan song, boy, what a song it was in his second big league start.
His hitting streak to 15 games. And here you see during the 14-game hitting streak, you know, we talk a lot about it, but just so you can see, Freddie, one of the best going opposite field, pulling the hands in, can go line to line, and it's what makes him one of the best players in baseball. Last 5 years, leaders in OPS, Freddie, #1 in the NL.
And his work during that hitting streak is our Synovus Greatness Made Here feature. What I love about that very colorful graphic was, of those 20 hits during the 14-game hitting streak, only 6 of them were pulled.
Well, I've said it. He is so good. We see him all the time, especially here at Truist Park, go right into that bullpen or right into the left field seats on a line drive. Saw him do it versus Chad Green with the Yankees with the huge hit in the second game of the doubleheader.
So Kyle Hart is the latest and greatest Boston pitcher. And that misses downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
And you know, Chip, I told you with him it's tough with the hitting streak. Look, again tonight, he's only had 1 time to hit. He's gotten hit by a pitch and walked. You got to believe with him leading the 7th, he's going to have 2 more opportunities tonight. But a lot of times with young pitchers like this, I don't blame this guy.
Kyle Hart, a 19th round pick in the draft in 2016. Born and lives in Cincinnati, Ohio. Went to Indiana University. He was roommates with Kyle Schwarber. For the Hoosiers. Was a starting pitcher for the most part with Pawtucket last year. 9-7, 3.86 ERA. Pitch to contact guy, doesn't strike out a man per inning. And just missed a corner. 3 balls and a strike to Freeman.
You can see everything away, away, away. He goes fastball away here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Freddie try to shoot the monster in left field.
He does, line to left, but right at Lynn, who makes the catch for out #1.
Couldn't get it high enough.
Yeah.
Right idea.
Well, Ozuna, what's the term Paul used earlier about tamed the monster? That's what it was. He tamed the monster in the first inning with a 2-run homer. His 9th of the year. That put Braves and Anderson up 2-0.
Hit that home run on a pitch. It wasn't even a strike either.
Yeah.
Paul's on the white chalk. Does a really good job when that ball's in, Chip, of pulling those hands through. They're so quick. Tell people a lot. You ever get a chance to come watch Marcel hit BP before a game? Probably one of the top 2 or 3 in all of baseball as far as putting on a show of going 460. I mean, you stand next to him, he is stout. He's strong.
One ball, 1 strike. I think it'll be interesting to see what Marcel's market will be at the end of this season. If the DH remains in place next year, even if it doesn't, many think it will be in effect in 2022 throughout Major League Baseball. So guys like Ozuna will certainly be helped by not having to play the outfield. As this one's launched high in the air, deep left field, Ozuna has tamed the monster for a second time. A 2-homer night for Ozuna. A solo shot this time, and the Braves extend the lead. He's in double digits with home run number 10.
I was just about to say, Chip, right before he hit that right-handed power hitters are hard to come by. And someone will be happy to have him on the team. 2-1, gets a hanging curveball. Second multi-home run game of the year.
And 10th of his career.
That one's far.
Yeah, that was into the parking lot. So a little tease of Ronald Acuna Jr. with that stutter step at the third base bag. And the Braves with a couple of homers now enjoy a 5-2 lead. And Nick Markakis, the batter in the Atlanta 7th. If he hits 20 home runs or so in 60 some odd games, he's going to have a very robust free agent market.
We go look at his last 4 years. Even last year he hit 240 something. The years before that 280 something, and then 320 or something in 2017 with the Marlins in his best year. I remember talking to him at spring training in the cages, saying that the idea that he hit 240 bothered him a lot. He knew he had good power numbers, what he did, but he said, I'm at least a 275 hitter. And he's showing it right now.
Well, he sure was better than a 275 hitter in the playoffs.
Yeah.
While with the Cardinals. 1-2 pitch for Nick. And Hart missed badly downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Game 3 tomorrow night. Perez and Erlin will be the opposing starters. A couple of left-handers will get after it. Martin Perez, the former Ranger. Now the 2-2 pitch. First pitch will be about 20 minutes earlier, 7:10 Eastern time. And of course we'll have Braves Live presented by Toyota beginning at 6:30. Once again, Brian Jordan will win the best dressed competition among the broadcasters with Jerome Jurinovich and Nick Green on the podium. That's out of play foul, still 3-2. Really appreciate the great work they do breaking down the games, previewing the games in our Atlanta studios.
You never know. Nick might surprise you with something tomorrow.
Oh, he's always surprising us with something. That's what we love about Nick. A lot of pitches for Kyle Hart. He's given up a solo home run. The pitch to Markakis is caught on and missed. Struck him out. 2 outs. Just a little late. And here's d'Arnaud, who's got 2 singles and a run scored. Speaking of Jerome and the gang, they'll be standing by with the stretch. After the Braves are through hitting here in the 7th inning, the stretch, as always, is presented by Synovus. Braves trying to maintain their 3-game lead in the division. Phillies were winning in Washington tonight. And the Marlins were victorious this evening. They got a game-winning home run from Starling Marte, their newest acquisition. So Miami won 3-2 tonight. Marlins beat Toronto.
That's why this year is crazy. I don't think in a regular season anybody thought that Florida would hit September and buy somebody.
Well, they did.
Yeah, that's my point.
It's
so there's
amazing.
a lot of teams that, you know, I think we were about right. About 7-8 teams that probably felt like, yeah, we're out of it. And then that was about it.
1-1 count. And that's on the ground and through for a 3rd hit for d'Arnaud. So Travis had 3 hits in his prior 17 at bats before tonight's game. He's got 3 at Fenway Park tonight.
What a great piece of hitting. Pitch on the outer part He tries to pull that. It's a ground ball to short. Instead, he takes the base hit to right field.
Hope we can just reset and go back.
So Austin Riley, 2 more hits for him, including the go-ahead 6th inning single. And that's up and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
Good cut. Pulled the string on him. And those numbers, look at that for a season. They've come a long way in the last 2 weeks. A lot of damage.
Oh. Just missed it. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And that's what I think Austin's done a great job too. Last night down the right field line, the double, the single, and the RBI earlier. It's easy as a young player to go up to Boston. We talked about it last night and try to pull. Right when you see that monster, he's not doing that.
He's line to line. And his average is rising fast. A little tapper. Hart's going to have to hurry. Bare hand, off balance throw, and he got him by a step. And that will retire the side. Marcell Ozuna with a 2-homer night is the offensive highlight. Jerome, take it away. It's time for the stretch. Up in Boston, it's the Braves 5, the Red Sox 2. Let's take a look, Jeff, at tonight. Zaxby's indescribably good play. Second big league start for Ian Anderson. For me, just as impressive as his first.
Well, he gave up more hits tonight, so that was disappointing.
Really?
Yeah, look, he was great again tonight. Came out with a game plan, mixed up the fastball, changeup, and curveball. Relied on that curveball late. As you see, gets Munoz there, and then comes up with the changeup for his last strikeout. What can you say? He was phenomenal tonight, and as we've said, when the Braves needed someone to step up besides Max Fried, he's done it twice now.
Yep, Braves quality starts this year. Max Fried has 4, Ian Anderson has 2, Soroka has 1, Touki Toussaint has 1. And so Anderson 2 for 2 in that category. A chance to go 2-0 if the Braves bullpen can get 9 outs with the lead. You like their chances in that regard as A.J. Minter is the first man out of the bullpen chute. Arauz is up first for them. And he takes downstairs from A.J., who's got a very impressive scoreless streak rolling for Atlanta. One-0 count. That got an inside corner.
Finish up on Anderson. I think one impressive thing, we know how good Max Fried's been, Chip, all year. He got 19 swing and misses tonight, the most by a Braves pitcher all year. 9 on the curveball, 8 on the changeup, and 2 on the fastball.
Tells you all you need to know,
Yep.
right? Minter's scoreless streak, by the way, 10 2/3 innings. As this one softly hit to Camargo, he was right where he should have been, and there's out number 1. Braves bullpen has been hugely successful. Braves are 13-0 this year when they lead after 5 innings. Tonight they were tied after 5. But you give this group a lead and it's usually ball game over. When they lead after 6, as they did tonight, they're 16-0. That's why everyone, when they talk about the Braves, says, look, if we can just get 5 good innings out of our starters with this offense and that bullpen, you have a better than average chance of winning the game. That's the way it's played out here in game 2. Braves finally got Verdugo out his last time up. He grounded out. But 2 more hits for Alex here in game 2. Saw him talking with Joe West. Can you have a conversation with him behind the plate? If you question a call, will he let you?
Oh yeah, you
ask
can talk to
respectfully?
Joe. Like I said, Joe honestly to me is pretty easy. Unless you go at him hard, then you know he doesn't like it. So as long as you know how to play the game with him, you're okay.
Darno saying, what was that?
Yeah.
Don't do that again, AJ. That hurt.
I say all the time, Joe West, when he wants to, he's as good as there is behind the plate. You see him do a lot of postseason games late. It's because he's got a good zone. When he's locked in and wants to do it, it's fair. It's usually pretty whatever. But like I said, you kind of have to play the game with him, though.
1 ball, 2 strikes. With 1 out, AJ Minter turns it loose, and Verdugo watches that sail high. It's 2-2. Darren O'Day up again in the Atlanta pen. He pitched the 6th inning last night. That's something else we're starting to see a little bit more frequently from Brian Snitker as the bullpen arms get stretched out, like you would see starters. Starting to see more back-to-back outings from some of these relief pitchers.
Well, I think that's important because as you get down the stretch playing for seeding, a couple of other teams, if they start to try to run you down a little bit, look, you're going to need those guys to go a couple nights in a row.
3-2 pitch. And Verdugo pops it up. Left side, who wants it? Markakis, Swanson, and Nick takes over, and Dansby ducks out of the way. Good communication, good result, 2 outs.
And that's perfect. When you do pop-up priority in spring training, that's how you want it. Your third baseman's running. Dansby called him off. Austin got out of the way. And at the very end, Nick came in. You want the guy to catch it coming in. It's a lot easier. Perfectly done.
So Vasquez, the final hope for Boston in their 7th inning. 5-2 Atlanta. Minter continues his good relief work. He's about to throw his 10th pitch. That's a pitch AJ's added. That change up. 3-run lead. Why not try it here? But he's fallen behind 2-0. At the bottom of the zone, called a strike. It's 2-1. Springs is back up. Saw Jeffrey pitch in game 1. Don't walk him, AJ. Best he can do is make it a 2-run game. High fly ball to center. Ender is there, and AJ Minter, a nice comeback and a nice 1-2-3, bottom of the 7th. It's time for your T-Mobile ticket to the game. Trey Turner is red hot for the Nationals. Manny Machado, the National League Player of the Week, and I think the Braves got Rhys Hoskins hot a couple of series ago for Philadelphia.
Trey Turner, the catalyst at the top of that lineup for Washington, trying to get them going back in the race. Down at the bottom, Manny Machado. You pair him up, putting those numbers up with Tatis. There's a reason they're going to be reckoned with in October.
And Clevenger, what an acquisition for the Padres to get him to anchor their rotation. As Hart's back to work for Boston, Duvall, Camargo, and Inciarte are coming up. I think Adam wanted to call time as he waited for that pitch to come. It wasn't granted. He took it. It was a ball, so that all worked out. That's the rule. You cannot just take time. It is to be requested and then granted by the umpire. One ball, one strike.
Bottom of the lineup's kind of had a quiet night for the Braves. 7, 8, 9 tonight. Adam with that big home run last night.
Shane Green's getting ready. Two balls and a strike. Swinging a fly ball, well hit towards center. That ball's carrying out toward the triangle, and Bradley will track it down.
That's a long way to go.
Yes, it is. Cold comfort for Duvall. A hard hit ball, but he's out number 1 and 0 for 4 in the game. And Camargo, the batter, 0 for 3.
That's one thing at Fenway, Chip. You have to have a good center fielder.
Oh yeah,
Jackie Bradley's really good at running balls down. That right center gap can get large in a hurry.
Johan turns around, hits right-handed. You mentioned how you thought that playing left field at Fenway was pretty easy. If the ball's over your head, you just turn around and retrieve the bounce. What about center and right?
Well, it all depends, like you said, in that triangle. Look, that triangle, anything can happen. I don't know if you remember Benji Molina, who by far was the slowest player in the big leagues, and he'll tell you that too. He got the cycle at Fenway, and that's where he hit his triple. For him to get a triple there, the ball had to jump off. You see it. It's tough. And especially imagine you're running full speed back there. That's where those guys have to know.
And then you deal with the very short 302-foot line in right, and the way the wall curves, the ball can get down there and just sort of shoot around like a highlight cesta, right?
Well, like Austin Riley's ball yesterday, if it's a little lower, more of a line drive, it can just go all the way along the wall, and you just end up chasing it.
Right.
And, you know, I'll say this as a visiting player, it's happened to me before a little bit, and those fans start yelling at you. Not a lot of fun.
I'll bet. And then you've got to deal with the bullpens, which are in right center field with a very short wall. You go to make a home run saving catch, you end up tumbling into the bullpen as an off-speed pitch at Camargo swing way over the top.
We've seen many guys rob a home run, flip over into the bullpen.
There's a sharply hit ball into left center field, a base hit for Johan. So he's got a 4-game hitting streak. And DeMarlo Hale congratulates him on that. The Braves with double digits in hits now, 10 of them on the night in a 5-2 game. On a night when the Braves have had 2 mammoth home runs from Marcell Ozuna, one of the biggest run-scoring hits of the game came off the bat of Ender Inciarte, and he hit the ball about 50 feet. But it scored a run.
At that time to put the Braves up 4-2. Big run.
And Hart paints a corner, strike 1.
Look, I said it, when you're scuffling, Chip, you'll take a hit in the ribby any way you can get it.
Boy, look at that great view of the batter's eye and the scoreboard in Boston. Love going there. The pitch is high.
Love going there about this time of year.
Yeah, in the heat of the summer it can get a little
or
swampy.
in May. Remember, we used to go in May a lot, and we got rained out 2 or 3 times up there and had to play doubleheaders.
Didn't Kyle Davies pitch his first game in a driving rainstorm?
Yeah.
Up in Boston. 1-1 pitch. Lined into center field, a base hit for Ender. So as you said, Jeff, maybe that Baltimore chop is going to get him going. Ender has a 2-hit night. And he did it against a left-handed pitcher, which is encouraging. And Ron Renicky pondering his options. Vasquez out in front of the plate. No sign of a change at this point with Dansby Swanson up 1 for 4 as he. Barring a double play, Freddie Freeman will have a chance to bat and extend his hitting streak. Atlanta with 11 hits again tonight. Broken bat, little flare. That's going to drop for a base hit. Streaking around is Camargo. He's going to score standing up. Dansby Swanson with a broken bat hit drives home his 21st run. And the Braves extend their lead.
Look, he broke his bat, but when you're trying to go up the middle and you have the right approach, you're able to stay on it just enough. You see it's a good changeup running away. Dansby gets another hit, another RBI.
Ender stops at second. Dansby with 21 ribbies. And here's Freddie. 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch and walked. Braves have 10 games with 12 hits or more. That's more than any other offense in the major leagues. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Freddie's got one more chance, we would think, to extend that hitting streak. Hit it hard last time off Hart. Line drive to left field.
He had a 3-1 count. Tried to do the right thing. Just hit it too hard. Stick around after the game. We'll have Braves Live presented by Xfinity. The Braves trying to win a road series in Boston, which has been very, very rare. Lined into left center field. The hit streak lives on. 1 run will score. Freddie will stop at first. On his way to third is Dansby. And the Braves are pouring it on. It's now 7-2, a 15-game hit streak for Freddie Freeman.
Just stays within himself. We showed you the spray chart last time. Nobody does it better. Fastball up, he just stays right through it. Hit it hard last time. Straight to left field. This time he split the gap.
Nobody up in the Boston bullpen. And on the anniversary of his big league debut 10 years ago, Freddie Freeman drives home his 22nd run. And now, with Hart at 40 pitches, Boston's pen goes back to work. 4 straight singles in the 8th inning, and Ozuna's up with a 2-homer night. High towering fly ball deep center. Make it a 3-homer night. Wow, over the batter's eye in straightaway center.
I don't know if I've ever seen a ball go up there at Fenway.
I was just saying the same thing. Up where the cameras are, above the batter's eye. I can't wait for the tail of the tape on that baby. The Braves with a 10-2 lead. Ozuna with 3 homers and 6 RBIs.
We got a hanging curveball last time against Hart for the home run. Look at this fastball belt high. Look at the backspin.
I mean, look how far this ball goes. That's under the second scoreboard, up where the cameras are.
Wow. I'm going to make a prediction. That ball's out of any park.
Even Colorado. And when you say out, not just over the fence, maybe out of the park is right. So the Braves' last 3-homer game came from Matt Kemp. Marcell Ozuna has his first 3-homer game as a major leaguer. And again, I can't wait to see what StatCast has to say. Even his teammates are looking at him in disbelief because they've probably never seen a ball hit that far in Boston.
And I'll tell you, when everybody's hitting like this, Chip, it's fun.
Except for that guy. Who was giving up 5 straight hits and 5 runs in the inning. And so Ian Anderson is sitting real pretty. In great position to start his major league career 2-0. And the Braves offense pouring it on again. Little chopper up the middle. This one will be handled by Bogarts, who settles and fires. And that's the second out. Elevate your brand with a Braves to Business A-List membership. It includes a personal concierge, exclusive networking events, and access to member directories. Learn more at braves.com/business.
I'm still having a tough time seeing how far that ball went. He just hit.
Well, there's a place at Fenway Park where supposedly the longest home run that Ted Williams ever hit is marked. I don't know if it's folklore or not, but it's in right field. It's marked by a red seat. There might be a red star for Marcell Ozuna's tape measure shot, part of a 3-homer, 6 RBI night. The Braves, with 5 in the 8th, have blown it open. The app to get in-game video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch action, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and much more. The MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. Marcell Ozuna's night is going to be #1 on all of the highlight shows covering Major League Baseball in 2020. A 3-homer, 6 RBI game, and we are still waiting for the tail of the tape on this latest mammoth 3-run blast. And we are getting word from Boston that the tail of the tape was 436 feet. Talk about hometown score.
Wow. Yeah.
No shot.
I think Boston needs to go redo that. I can promise you that's at least 460 to 470 out there to center field when you go to center and go that high up.
That's almost as bad as the home run that we showed in San Francisco last year, where the StatCast had it in front of the fence.
Oh, that was my favorite. That threw you for a loop the rest of the night.
I couldn't believe it.
You couldn't recover.
I couldn't. It knocked me right out.
Yeah, thank God I was on my A game that night.
Well, that's first for everything. Shane Green is on to pitch in the Boston 8th. So I don't know how they figure all the StatCast stuff, but I'm not buying 436.
Not a chance.
Or whatever.
438, 6, whatever it was. Yeah. That ball was back spin way out of here.
So Green with an 8-run lead. Will face Devers. And got the call. It's an even count. Green's ERA 0.55. Among all pitchers with 15 innings or more, that's the second best ERA in the game.
I think Shane's best job all year was Friday night back in Philly when he came in with got out of a jam and then went to extra innings. Runner at second, they bunted, remember, first pitch,
right.
He had first and third. And he finagled his way out to keep the Braves alive. Lost next inning, but the pitches he made were incredible.
And we've said it before, Jeff. You know, sometimes in life you do get a second chance to make a first impression. The guy that was pitching to an all-star level for the Tigers when he came to Atlanta the first 5 or 6 outings, some bad luck, bad results. And I think it rattled him to a certain degree, but he righted the ship. And since last August, he's been one of the best relievers in the game. And he showed it there with a perfect backdoor pitch to take care of Devers, who strikes out looking. And that's how the home 8th starts.
He just cuts and sinks it so good that this pitch, you see Devers give up on it. Looks like it's off the plate and just comes back right on the corner. And when you're hitting spots like that, the umpire majority of the time is going to give it to you.
And what a luxury for Travis d'Arnaud tonight with Anderson, and at least with that pitch with Green, he's truly been in the rocking chair. He's not had to move his glove an awful lot.
No, it's been a nice night for him.
So Bogaerts the batter, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Bogaerts 1 for 7 in the series. And lifts this one high in the air toward left. Markakis will turn. That ball is high off the top of the scoreboard. Funny bounce. Markakis stayed with it. And Bogaerts is at second with a 1-out double. That's the other thing about the monster. Sometimes, see that little lip on top of the scoreboard? It'll take a funny bounce.
Well, what ender, and you see this, Shane hung one there. Kind of got him out in front, but still enough to get. But what you do here, look at how good this is. Nick, Ender obviously communicating. One knows, okay, I'm going to go all the way to the wall. The other one's got to back it up in case it happens like that. Great job.
So Bogaerts with his 8th double. And Chavis the hitter. Michael's had a quiet series, 0 for 7. You know, he wants to do something good. I'll bet his folks are watching the game. Friends and family too. Out of Sprayberry High School. #1 pick by the Red Sox 6 years ago. One ball, one strike in a 10-2 Atlanta game. Mentioned something earlier in the game I want to get back to because there's been a lot going on tonight. Talked about the changes for the All-Star game, which will be here at Truist Park next year. The Major League Baseball amateur draft will take place in Atlanta. It won't be held at the MLB Network studios in Secaucus. With the Futures game and with the College World Series over, baseball will probably have a chance to have those kids here at the All-Star festivities as Chavis strikes out. I think that'll liven things up quite a bit to have the kids actually on site.
It'll be
when their name's called.
I think that's a great idea. Throws a slider off the plate, gets him to swing through it. I like that idea. It's just going to be interesting to see how it works out with, you know, for those guys, just not going to be much of a season after you sign.
Right.
If you're going to middle of July for the All-Star break, you know, and then hey, look, if you're going to college, you're going to college 2-3 weeks later. So that signing period is going to become short.
Be very short.
But I like the idea.
Yeah. Liven it up a bit. Have those kids here. As this ball is hit in the air to right center field, that'll get down for a run-scoring hit. Bogaerts will be plated. And Shane Green with some bad luck. 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, and Boston gets a run back. It's now a 10-3 game. Bradley's 12th run batted in.
Not a horrible pitch by Shane, but Bradley did a good job of pulling his hands through.
One more note on the draft. The announcement that was made, the initial plan for the draft, back to 20 or 30 rounds.
Well, it has to be.
Instead of the 5 because of COVID this year.
It's got to be at least 20 rounds. Too many good ball players you see drafted middle to late rounds that not only make it, but do pretty darn well up in the big leagues.
You bet. Munoz takes a high strike. It's 0-1 to him. He's doubled, struck out, and grounded out tonight. I think it'll be fascinating to see what the level of play will be like in spring training next year. Look, we understand what spring training is about. But with the cancellation of the minor league seasons this year, you really feel for the Paches, the Waters, the really good players that don't have a season this year.
Yeah, and even for them, though, at least they're being at the alternative site. They're getting some work. For me, it's the guys that might have had a big year last year or getting ready to have a big year this year that are going to miss that opportunity to, you know, play and develop.
Yeah, because there's no way to simulate that.
No,
at all.
You can't.
So that's the other side effect of COVID-19 in 2020. Way outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So some history tonight for Atlanta. They're trying to win a road series in Boston. Personal history for Marcell Ozuna. He's the first National League player with a 3-homer game in the history of Fenway Park. Now, granted, interleague play.
Yeah, but still, there's been enough teams that have played up there that at that park you might pop a few over the monster.
And certainly after the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good stop. It's 2-2. That's foul at third. Stu Surewater will clean that up.
He's been busy down that line at third tonight.
You better look alive, too.
Yeah.
Munoz putting up an 8th inning fight for the Red Sox. And now full count.
And this is tough. You know, Shane's warming up down there. It's 5-2. He's getting ready to come into a ball game. And you drop a 5 spot. A guy like him, I know you're supposed to be able to grind through it. But it's tough sometimes coming in and keeping that concentration.
Popped him up. Got a high breaking ball. Who wants it? Riley at third says he has it. He does. And that will send us to the 9th inning. It's all Atlanta in game 2.
Marcell Ozuna, his first career 3-home run night, last one off the bat, 110 miles an hour. We don't know exactly how far it went, but here at Truist Park, we're trying to gauge that, and we're the only ones in the country that have Paul Bird. And you would know, Paul, how far this went, right?
Well, I appreciate the setup, Kelly. I did. I actually walked it off, Braves fans. This is our camera well right up here at Harris Porch. Would have hit off the side of this daiquiri machine, gone to the ground. Setting off cheers here and at the Battery, at the Omni, and free drinks for everybody.
Free drinks, gentlemen. Sounds good.
Birdie, bring them up. Kelly, bring some up.
Hey, I'm ready. Where is the Frenchies Blues over here?
You scored 10 runs. You should get a daiquiri, I feel like.
And this is the camera well at Truist Park. I don't think we're very far off, if at all.
Well, I'm in. Yeah, I know my partner's in.
Night full of field trips, gentlemen.
What was that?
Night full of field trips.
I like
49.
Yeah.
His Fitbit, the steps we put in tonight for these home runs.
Well, you deserve a daiquiri then.
Hey, I'm climbing under machines, grabbing more home run balls.
It's unbelievable.
You guys got to get this place to be.
You're doing Sasquatch things. It's amazing. Great job tonight keeping us smiling here at Truist Park as the Braves enjoy a 10-3 lead in the 9th inning. 2 more hits for Austin Riley. Jeffrey Springs is back on. He threw 24 pitches last night. Ron Renicky just trying to get this one over with. As the Braves, Marcell Ozuna, a 3-homer, 6 RBI night. Top 5 hitters for Atlanta all scored a run. The only Braves without hits in the game, Nick Markakis and Adam Duvall. As Austin pops this one up behind first, Chavis drifts out and puts the squeeze on that for the first out. The other big story, obviously, Ian Anderson His first major league week starts against the Yankees and Red Sox, pitching in Fenway Park. Kid that grew up in a Red Sox fan family. First pitch, a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Had a 2-0 lead in the first, gave it up, tie game, then went to work and pitched 6 innings of 6-hit, 8-strikeout ball, a new career high, and he's in line for his second win.
What I loved, he gave up those 2 runs in the 3rd inning. He had a 3-0 count to Devers, walked or threw a fastball right down the middle that he smoked for an RBI single. After striking out Bogarts the first time, strikes out Bogarts after that to end the inning, comes back in the 5th, same situation. And he's able to 3-0 to Devers again, walks him this time, comes back and gets Bogarts to ground out. Those are little things to me that show, okay, the light bulb's going off. I'm starting to think, why would I give this guy that pitch when I got a guy on deck that I feel like I've done good against? So great job. 2 great outings, and see if he can keep it going.
Well, that's the challenge, isn't it? Anybody can be a flash in the pan. It's can you give your team a chance to win tonight and then 5 days later. And that's what we'll find out with Ian Anderson as Duvall takes high, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think when you see guys come up, Mike Soroka, remember watching him the first time we saw him with that heavy sink, and you feel like this guy's got a pitch that's gonna play in this league. Same thing with Anderson. You watch him, 3 good pitches, fastball, changeup, curveball, and you think with those 3 pitches, he's gonna have success here.
2-2 pitch. No chase, full count. Martin Perez, Robbie Erlin in Game 3 tomorrow. Braves look like they'll have a chance for a sweep of the Red Sox at Fenway Park. 14 more hits for Atlanta tonight. And strike 3 froze Duvall. There's the second out.
And now a quick message from Bojangles.
Feed the whole family with a big Bo box. It's Bo time.
Johan Camargo a hit and a run tonight. One more cool note about Ozuna's huge night. Since 1990, only one other Brave has had a 3-homer, 6 RBI game.
I bet you I know who that is.
All right, let's see if you're right.
Well, I think it was at RFK with the Nats, and
nope,
it was either
earlier.
Now then I probably don't know.
You do. Well, you jumped out so confidently.
Well, I remember Andrew and Chipper both had a 3-home run game at RFK Stadium.
But I don't think they had the 6 RBIs, right? That was the qualifier. Jeff Treadway.
Wow.
Great Braves second baseman who's probably watching the game tonight.
Out of Macon, Georgia.
You got it. Don't try to fool our great stat guy, Wiley Ballard. He will put a hurting on you.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I'm not going to try to fool him.
He is the Clemson Tigers of statsmen. I'm going to leave it there.
All right, now that you said it that way.
There you go. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a little number hit slowly to the right side. Chavis slipped but makes the play. Marcell Ozuna has lost 3 baseballs in the night in Fenway Park, and leave it to Paul Bird to find him under the daiquiri machine. Who'd have thunk it? 10-3 Atlanta as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Ozuna was going to enjoy being a designated hitter. He certainly enjoyed it tonight. Not 1, not 2, but count them 3 home runs at Fenway Park tonight. The first National League player ever to do that in that beautiful jewel in Boston's back bay. 6 RBIs as well. Part of a 10-run, 14-hit Braves barrage.
And when we go to Boston next year, me and you are going to measure that.
Yes.
438.
That's a joke.
That is. You know, I'll maybe buy 450, 455, but
no.
We're going to go measure it next.
No.
We're going to get some work there.
I think the same StatCast guy that's in San Francisco did the measurement on that in Boston just to make us mad.
Probably right.
Made me so mad I got the game time wrong tomorrow. So,
yeah, it's 7:30 for everybody at home.
Thank you. Sorry about that, folks. I read 7:10 earlier. I was wrong. My apologies. 7:30 first pitch.
You might have been looking at the Marlins game what time they play.
Well, you got to watch the Marlins. They're hot. They won again tonight. And we'll see them 7 times here in the final month. Smart Alec. Here's Lynn in the ninth. Huascar Inoue is on to pitch and clean it up for the Braves. And that's a strike. Huascar's done really good work as a relief pitcher.
I think he was in line to start Sunday night before the Braves went and got Tommy Malone.
On the ground, Freddie's got that. Race to the bag, 1 out. Only A-list members get exciting benefits like priority access to postseason games, member-only events, discounts on concessions, merchandise, and parking. Become a 2021 A-list member. Go to Braves.com. Folks, you really want to take advantage of that with the All-Star Week festivities in Atlanta next year. The Braves are going to put on an unbelievably inspiring spectacle for Major League Baseball, and you'll want to be a part of it. So hope you'll join the A-list and enjoy all those wonderful member benefits. 1 away. Arauz and then Verdugo. Boston's going to fall to 12-24 on the year. The Braves will go to 21-14. Not familiar with Huascar Inoue. Atlanta got him from the Minnesota Twins a few years ago. He was a 20th or so rated prospect in the Twins system. Kid with a big arm. Braves traded Jaime Garcia to Minnesota with Anthony Recker. And Inoue was the flyer that came back, and here he is.
They let that one go at 95. Yeah, I've been really impressed with his slider. Sharp for a young guy. And look, the Braves have done a great job. I've said the last 2.5 years, to me, that's what separated them. Whenever they've played a team that was struggling down, they took advantage.
Have to.
And they've done it for these first 2 games in Boston. Team with the worst ERA, offense that's missing J.D. Martinez.
That's what they've done the last couple of years in the East with so much parity in our National League division during a regular season, of course.
Yep.
You figure you're going to probably come close to, if not split your series with the Phillies, the Mets, and the Nationals. It's how you do against the Marlins. It goes a long way toward winning the division or not. The Braves have certainly taken care of that business. And they'll have to do it again in 2020. Braves will end the season, by the way, with these same Red Sox. Final 3 games of the year here at Truist Park against Boston. That's lifted toward left. After tomorrow's game, the Braves will only have 1 more road trip left. Granted, it's a long one. Washington, Baltimore, and the Mets. 10 games in 11 days before Atlanta finishes with the final week on their home turf, and then they get ready for the playoffs. And sprayed way outside, a 1-out walk.
Late in the season and only a 60-game season, I think the players wouldn't mind playing quite a few games late. You know, it just carries you right into the playoffs. That way you're not too much rest time. Now, we said sometimes you get hurt by winning the division. You know, I used to say I thought that hurt the Braves sometimes back in the mid-90s. They'd win the division by 12 games, and you play 2 weeks of meaningless games, basically.
And then have to ramp up intensity and all that for postseason play. Another good night for Verdugo. 5 hits in the first 2 games of the series. 2 singles in his first 2 trips. A ground out and pop out his last 2 times up. Was Verdugo thinking about asking for time?
I don't know if he was, but in a 10-3 game, Joe West is probably not going to give you time.
Wouldn't think.
Just saying.
Come on, Huascar. Let him put it in play. 2 balls and a strike.
Missing everything arm side after getting Lynn to ground out.
On the ground to Dansby. To the bag for 1, to first for 2, and the Braves have beaten the Red Sox 10-3. They've won the series in Boston thanks to that man's historic night. His first career 3-homer game. First National League player with 3 homers in a single game at Fenway Park. 6 of Atlanta's 10 RBIs. And Atlanta, Jeff, goes for the sweep tomorrow night.
Yeah, my 2 forward keys, Ian Anderson, do what you did your first start. He did that offensively. Get after it. Freddie extends his hitting streak. And Marcel with 3 homers.
As our great producer Gretchen Caney would say, it was a night of greatness for Atlanta. They go for the sweep tomorrow. Robbie Erlin will get the start for Atlanta. Martin Perez will pitch for Boston. We are on the air at 6:30 Eastern Time with Braves Live presented by Toyota. Join us on Fox Sports Southeast. First pitch, Chip, is 7:30. 7:30. Big Braves win tonight. We'll recap it on Braves Live presented by Xfinity, and that's coming up next.